Warm greetings, everyone. On behalf of W4W Foundation, a think tank instituted as Citizens Collective, we welcome you to another session of Wednesdays for Water. Today is also special as we start our season 8, sitting over 400 sessions of season 1 to 7. And we also start today as a special day because we have actually the woman power with us. And today's conversation is focused on the WICCI Water Resource Council Partnership for Leadership, and we have the new leadership in the Water Resource Council of the WICCI, and we would like to talk to them today. Before we get into the session, the objective of Wednesdays for Water is to engage in conversation with water experts, grassroots practitioners, policymakers, and youth to explore the complex intertwined issues associated with water and the possible solutions they are working upon and seeking for. The Wednesdays for Water has expanded since its beginning 5 years ago. So we are also 5 years old. After a year, we had to start with Friday Waters, which has water talkies, water arts, water thesis club, water reading club, and Meet a Maestro, and the most assorted, the Monday munching and musing with Women for Water. These are all online sessions, but we have equally complemented with on-site water workshops, water walks and talks, seminars, special courses, conference panels to continue the water conversation in various possible ways. At W4W, we believe that water conversation is the only way towards water conservation. Do visit our website www.w4w.in for more details. This is Mansee Bal Bhargava from the House of W4W, and I'm the host for the session today. As we are going to speak about the women for water, we are also aware that the whole women discourse in the water sector is about water for women. And we started this journey 4 years ago at the WICCI Water Resource Council, where we started to form this council with people from across the country working on water in diverse fields, in different approaches, in different reasons and different problems, looking at different ways of solutions. We have now more than 100 Water Resource Council members, which is constituted with around 20% of them as youth members. So we call them emerging water scholars. And we also have seasoned players and legends, to name few, such as Sara Ahmed, Nafisa Barot, as advisors to the council. Today, we have actually 4 of our new leadership council members. So for 4 years, I was actually leading the council with Dr. Nivedita Sahu as vice president and me holding the president's position. So today we have 4 lovely ladies from 4 different parts of the country actually. So we have with us Dr. Chandni Bedi, Dr. Rajkumari Sunita Devi, and Sweta Jhunjhunwala and Radhica Kanniganti. I will introduce each one of them in one line and I will invite them to speak about themselves so that we can actually get the ball rolling. And the format of the session will be very simple. It's a structured question. They have been already informed about the questions. And it's more to understand the nuances of women in the decision making, in the leadership position in the water sector. So let me just start with Dr. Chandni Bedi, who is a development leader with 23 years of experience in water conservation, gender inclusion and sustainability. And as coordinating director at Navjyoti India Foundation, she has enabled more than 360 million liters of annual groundwater recharge in Haryana. She's a PhD holder, global speaker, and WICCI Water Resource Council contributor, and she's now the new WICCI National President for the Water Resource Council. She's the recipient of Mahatma Global Water Leader and ET Water Leadership Award. I'm keeping it short here, but Chandni, what is happening these days in your kitty and where are you flowing these days?
Oh, well, thank you, Mansee, for this introduction. And first of all, congratulations for the season 8. And I must say that you have kind of set a benchmark for all of us. So what's happening these days, if you ask us what's brewing, I think it's a lot of thinking, a lot of planning, a lot of collaborating amongst all of us as part of the new leadership, the baton that you have passed on to all of us. And we're working on the strategy map and the roadmap for WICCI Water Resource Council. That's what's happening. And I think that's going to take a lot of evening coffees for us to kind of plan those ideas, convert those ideas into action. But there are no dearth of ideas, I must say. Unlike the groundwater that is depleting, I'm sure we have a lot of ideas and we're recharging ourselves on daily basis. Uh, Having said that, well, at Navjyoti India Foundation, we are very closely working on groundwater recharge. As we all know, the depletion that's going on, the water is getting depleted. So we have done water harvesting in all the police stations of Gurugram in Haryana, and the model has been set up, and now we're expanding to other districts in Haryana. Apart from that, we have done some pilot projects in Faridabad, again in Gurugram and other areas where we're using nature-based solutions to address the issue of urban flooding that we all know, that we're all aware of in Delhi and NCR. So we have constructed bioretention cell in one of the police stations where the water from outside, from the urban spaces, from the roads that used to enter these campuses, and everything was disrupted. So we've done bioretention cells. In yet another, we're doing bioswales and climate resilient infrastructure in a police station. The one is again going to happen. So these are some of the things that we're doing in the urban spaces. And talking about the rural spaces, we work, as you know, very closely with women, and we're working on water, sanitation, and hygiene in rural spaces. And these days, our major focus is on menstrual hygiene and its interlinkages with water, with waste, and the myths that are around menstrual hygiene as part of WASH program. So these are some of the things that we are doing right now.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Chandni. Let me just get to our next speaker for the day. And I invite Dr. Rajkumari Sunita Devi, who is also Vice President now for the Water Resource Council and also representing East of India. So over to you, Sunita. It's been really nice to know you for so many years. What's happening? I have been with you last year, so I know, but I would like to hear from the horse's mouth.
Yeah, thank you, Mansee. And it's really the feeling mutual seeing you again. And a big hello to the new group, Sweta, then the new president, and the other VC. So right now, thankfully, I'm the CEO for the SLNA watershed management in Manipur. So I have new challenges coming up, and but everything is going on so smoothly. I just got another project approved, amounting to 8.9 crore just now. I got the approval from the Honorable CM, so quite happy about it. So I think women is making a mark in the water sector here in any region. And I also had a very, encouraging meeting today with the joint secretary of my office, saying that most of our new projects will be sanctioned, and hopefully Department of Land Resources is going to give us new two projects, the PMKSY 3 and spring set management. So right now the highlight here in Manipur, or even for the Northeast, is spring set management. So again, it is more on water sector. So even though it's challenging, but I can say that things are going on smoothly here. The government have been very, very supportive. Our communities are very happy with our works, and we have lots and lots of positive vibes going on here. We have the whole of the 16 district participant in the recent workshop which we held in Imphal. So it's really encouraging that the whole community were there. So the conflict is sort of no conflict in my water sector as such. So we have all the tribal groups in the meeting. We have a very good connection with them. Uh, all of our funding from the project are reaching them. They are cooperating with us. So no political hitching in the project right now. So it's very encouraging, and it's really, really nice taking on, like the position of the CEO. So it's not just riding the high horse, but again, so much responsibility and decision making. So in the decision making, I mean, it's another ball game, but still, like, things are going on well here, and I'm very positive about my new role as a vice president of the new position given to me by Mansee. So it's more challenging, trying to balance the work and running back home here and joining the BC, because in the office there were so many people in the office, so I just had to run out in the pretext of meeting the joint secretary or something else, and just came running away. And but yeah, I can say like it's very very nice going on here. So
Thank you, Sunita, and congratulations from on behalf of all of us here. Very proud, and I know it is so hard earned for you. So I'm completely aware of it because I have been with you in this journey. Let me just go quickly to our next speaker so that we have all of them on board before we actually get into the questions. May I go to Radhica Kanniganti, who is also now our new Vice President, and actually I'm going to share at the end after the introduction of all of them why we have this set up in WICCI Water Resource Council. And Radhika is representing South of India and also, of course, other things. Over to you, Radhika. What's happening these days? We met
Thanks,
recently.
Mansee. Yes, and thanks, Mansee. And it is, I know we have large shoes to fill for sure. You've done a fantastic job all this time, and but it's been a pleasure getting to know the new committee, and I'm looking forward to kind of working together. Just a bit about myself. I'm an environmental engineer, and I have more than 20 years experience in the field. Of course, I worked on a lot of aspects on environment, waste, air pollution, and everything, but water has sort of been my maybe a longest stint. I worked on rural water and sanitation, and actually, on household water security issues. I have also done urban water management in corporates, and one of the things I'm passionate about is innovations, of course, in any field, but also specifically in water. And that is something which I'm really passionate about, looking for innovations and trying to, create go-to-market solutions for innovations in water and environment. Currently, I am leading ESG and sustainability at Wipro Limited here. I'm in Bangalore. And of course, there is a huge portion of water management within corporates also as part of the ESG portfolio. But yeah, I do look at all other aspects of environment, social, and governance as well over here. So, but I'm looking forward to, I think that we've got a lot of exciting things planned as part of the council, and looking forward to working with everybody. And this is it's good.
Thank you. Thanks, Radhika. Let's just invite Sweta on board, Sweta Jhunjhunwala. Again, very close pal now. We meet every now and then here. Sweta, I know you have been working on some interesting things. What's doing these days? Where are you flowing? And you represent as Vice President for the western part of India. So welcome, Sweta. Please unmute yourself. Shweta, can you hear us?
I think her video seems frozen.
Yes, yeah, I see her video is actually stuck. So I'm also trying to get. Let me just then go to our next question, and I can coordinate with her at the background, and so that we keep flowing and our session gets filled up with important discussions. So in the next few minutes, we will actually have a conversation on very simple questions, but looking at it from two different perspectives. As I said, the whole water discourse across the world, not only in India, is about water for women, where women are painted as vulnerable, which is true. Majority, more than 50% of the women population and more than 50% of the population suffers from water scarcity and crisis. Amongst them, more than 50% of the women are spending more than 4 to 5 hours every day fetching water. So that's one part of where the whole water discourse focuses on. And where water discourse should focus on to solve the first problem is where this whole conversation is sitting, where we talk about women for water. Shweta, are you back?
Yes, I'm back.
Okay,
Sorry.
sorry,
I don't
no
know. It's
issues. So
Murphy's
I
law,
will
right?
hold my conversation here for the next question, but let's have Shweta first and then hear her out and then go to the next question. I had started the round of questions, but what's coming up, Shweta, and where are you flowing these days?
Thank you, Mansee. So first, it's a huge honor to be in this group, to have this role, right? Uh, I was discussing with a friend yesterday about desilting, right? When one of the big projects all water organizations do is we need to desilt the rivers, we need to desilt the water bodies. What we've realized is this desilting will continue as long as we don't have trees. In order to stop desilting, we need to have trees. So I've been working with Ra Foundation doing eco restoration lately. We are restoring the entire Sayadri Hills, where we are planting trees. We are working on biodiversity, working on all issues related to the area in the Sayadri Hills. Some of the areas are even ecological sensitive zones as per Mother Gadgil. So we're working on all those areas. So it's exciting. Even though we might say it's not water, it is plantation, but it's all related. It's all the entire ecosystem. So with Ra Foundation, we've been doing GIS using technology to map all the trees they're planting, to monitor them. We're using surveys. We are basically automating things because the volume is very large. It's one thing to plant 100 trees, another thing to plant 8 lakh saplings in 2 years. So it's a lot of work, but it's interesting and fun to do that. Beyond that, in Tulsi Pandra Foundation, like we said, water is related to hygiene, water is related to so many different things. So we also distributing sanitary napkins, reusable sanitary napkins and that's been one of my missions to have women and children, empower them by water, sustainability and education. So Tulsi Patra Foundation has that goal. So been doing some of that work where we educate them to make them understand. It was shocking to see 100 women sitting there and listening really raptly at why do we even have menstruation? We take it for granted. And they were like wide-eyed open listening, showing them pictures of women's body parts. They didn't know answers to like how many holes are there, right? So I know I'm going a little off topic, but that's the kind of information which is missing, where we need to go and really work on the grassroots. So this is between Tulsi Patra Foundation, Ra Foundation, been quite active. And then in Mumbai, we are working on the solid waste. We have a collective called Solid Waste Management under the Mumbai Donut Collab. So that's a lot of activity going on under that. So different things, putting my hands in different things, but ultimately for the betterment of the society and for the environment, end of the day. And hoping to do a lot of other leadership roles within WICCI as well, WICCI WRC as well. So look forward to
Thank
working
you.
with all the other interesting fun ladies.
Thank you so much, Sweta. And as you were using the word that it is not much discussed or not much addressed, I would like to take that point again and come back to my conversation, which I started to have my next round of questions, as something which is really sidelined or undermined is the woman's role in the leadership position. If we want to solve water for women, I personally feel that we have to actually address women for water. And that is where my first question is coming. So, as I was mentioning earlier, also each question is in two parts. So, of course, the vulnerable women whom we revere and we really wish to solve the problems. But at the same time, we want to discuss the same topic for the women in leadership because it is underrepresented, under discussed, or I think even undermined, even in our Manel's group, and also I feel in the WICCI Resource Council this needs to be loud. So I want to come to you, Chandni, about the space where there is still gender equality in water decision making. And why is it? How do you see it? How do you feel it? Or is it omnipresent? Or have some silver lining? Over to you, Chandni.
Thank you, Mansee. Mansee, I would say that, people who live closest to a problem are often the ones furthest away from the decisions that actually shape these solutions. And nowhere is this more evident than in water. Like you said, every day there are so many women, millions of women who wake up thinking about water before anyone else does. So yet when decisions are made, these women, they're excluded from the decision making, where the infrastructure will be built, how resources will be managed, which technology do we use, what investments do need to be there, how governance system will function. I think women are just absent from the room, from the decision making. And I would say this is not just about gender inequality, it's actually about inefficiency. Because
Very
when you
well.
exclude, it means you're excluding some of the most informed stakeholders. And then we end up designing systems without fully understanding the realities that exist, because they are the ones who are the managers, they are the ones who protect water, they are the ones who are doing everything related to water. Talking about the grassroots level, we all know how women and girls, they bear the heaviest burden of water insecurity. They collect water, they store it, manage it, take care of the health and hygiene of their families. So they are the managers, but not the decision makers. And I would like to share about one of my recent experiences from the field. We were having this meeting in Mahila Chopal, where some of the women, they approached us and they requested why not have a safe drinking water system in their mohalla, which was a Harijan Basti. And that village already had two systems. They had one RO, they had one UF and UV, but their mohalla did not have it. So we went along with them, doing the survey, trying to identify the location with the women. And we were, interrupted by some of the men. And they told us, we will take the decision where the RO or water purification system, or what, UF, UV will be installed. And the story did not end here. The women, because they were getting dirty water from the pipeline, so they were the ones who were collecting water from a nearby temple, which had a bore well. And the women, they had decided to pool in their resources. They had actually collected money to install the tiles around the bore well and the area, so that the area remained clean during the monsoon. And when we suggested that, you should have permeable tiles that could allow groundwater to recharge, and we also discussed with them and explained them some of the simple water conservation structures that could be there, why they are important, because, the village was extracting more water than what was being recharged. The women listened carefully. And then came the response, please meet the priest of the temple on Tuesday. It was not because they disagreed. It was not because they lacked understanding. It was not because they lacked commitment, because they lacked the confidence to raise their voice in decision making, to participate, in those decisions. And that is the paradox. And their names may appear on village water sanitation committee, attendances will be marked, but representation is only on the paper. There's no participation on ground or in practice. And we have seen when women are genuinely involved, the results are remarkable. There have been initiatives like Jal Saheli and many others who have demonstrated that these women-led water governance, it really improves sustainability, accountability, community ownership, and it has long-term outcomes. But talking about the other side, I think the same paradox exists at the professional level as well. Today, we have more women than ever who are entering the fields of water engineering, hydrology, uh, scientists, public policy, you name it and we have it. Our own WICCI Water Resource Council has 100 plus women from so many diverse sectors who are doing really good in their own fields. But so in this space, I would say, in the privileged lot, if I may put it that way, their voices do exist, their expertise exists, their leadership exists. But here the challenge is different. Their voices are not heard when the decisions are being made. So all these boardrooms, these utility leadership positions, the technical committees, they're all dominated by men. And you have been very vocal about it, Mansee, documenting some of these manuals,
More than 50 manual flyers in 2 years. I have them with me.
So it's not that the challenge is not about the capability. It's just that the challenge is visibility, the challenge is access, the challenge is influence. And that is where I feel that WICCI Water Resource Council as a platform will play a very critical role. And it is very important to take up this matter now more than ever, because water sector is at the crossroad. climate change is intensifying droughts, floods, groundwater is declining, uh, demand for water is rising because of urbanization, the pressures that we are putting on water systems, the pollution continues to threaten water quality. I think the solutions to these complex problems, it cannot come from single perspective. It needs diverse voices, it needs diverse leadership, it needs diverse experiences. And like I say, that gender equality in water decision making is not merely a matter of fairness, it is a matter of effectiveness. And you yourself are saying that half of the population is women, right, who are suffering. And unless they are involved, we cannot have the way forward, we cannot have the solution. So I think we need to move away from this tokenism representation, and we need to have more effective representation, clear pathways for women to lead these institutions, the bodies, the policy platforms. We also need to invest in young women who may want to get into
Yes.
these water sectors and give them some opportunities to rise. So I would say, the voice must be heard, the opinion must be valued, and most important, the decision must be influenced. Because it is not the question that whether women is participating in water governance. The question is, can water governance be a success without women? The answer is clearly no. So I would say no water security without women's leadership in water.
Wonderful. Let me just open the floor to all other speakers here. If you want to add something, otherwise we go to very important question following it. And so well put, Chandni, that it's not about having women for the sake of having as a number, or because we offer only the half the population we should be there. Also because I think we get, in addition to what Chandni said, the diversity of ideas. And the very fact that women are at the core of responsibility of fetching water, there is something which a professional woman also can offer. And this is my personal opinion. I think the disease which we carry in patriarchy, it of course flows into the water sector, and it almost has, even in the water sector, it's not only actually men and women, it is also about generational problems. So I see almost like a old boys club, to be honest, if I can put it that way. But let's see if there is anyone who wants to add a line or two with what Chandni is talking about, or to the question of gender inequality in water
I just want
decisions.
to I just want to add one thing, that when a
Hmm.
woman makes a decision, it is a decision for the children, for the elderly of the family, for the men, the women, transgender, all inclusive. It's not just
More
a
inclusive,
decision
yes.
for her. Yes. So I think that's the thing to think about.
So, yeah,
That's all.
thank you. Thank you, Sweta. And let me just go to the next question, which I think is pain for most of us. And also, we have a lived experience now with Dr. Sunita. And the question is actually, what is required for women to rise the ladder? And in other words, I can also say, taking from Chandni, that to be heard. First is, of course, having these designations, this affiliation and position. But if I also take it to the grassroots women, because you have been extensively working at the grassroots for water conservation projects with the Prime Minister Yojana, what it takes really for women to be heard, and how do you reach? Once in a position, you have different kind of challenges and opportunities, but also I think the question is how to reach that position that people hear you. Over to you, Sunita.
Yeah, I think that's a very good question. Like, because reaching to the top position wasn't easy, but I think I could attribute my success, or my, like climbing this ladder, to a very strong technical background. Because I'm a very, very scientific person. I love science. And I forgot to mention that I'm a very, very good GIS person. So I have the whole of the state mere muthi mein. So I know
Mhm.
where are the places, what are the the topography, the terrain, then where are the settlement areas, where are the forests, the rivers, where does this water comes from, and where does this grow. So I was one of the pioneer person in the state to be a GIS person, and I could proudly say that I beat all the men in GIS in Manipur, and I consider myself, because I have won so many award in my field, the Map Asia Award from Kuala Lumpur, and being a Fulbright scholar and a JICA fellow in all the just GIS field. So I was thinking from yesterday when Mansi put these questions like, how did you climb it? I was that made me think twice, like what is my strongest point. So that is one attribute, or I mean, the very important attribute is my technical background. Yes, everybody has the environmental science background or the hydrology, but GIS or remote sensing was another, that really helped me when talking in a cabinet meeting with the chief minister or with any other minister or secretaries. So I just talk to them about where is your house, where is your locality, what is your constituency, and this much people are there in the constituency. So that just let like make them listen to me. So if it's an minister or an MLA, then I would say your constituency has this much water or this much. So that will really so I could say that technical expertise along with the education should be strong. So as a woman, you really need your education to make yourself heard by other people, and at the same time technical expertise is one such you know uh, step to the ladder. But you can also see that the hydrology, the engineer, just like Chandni was saying, uh, it's all dominated in the water sector by male, most of the male. And by default, even though the females are there, at one point of their life they had to compromise, the family make them compromise. But you have the technology with yourself, it goes with you. When you are cooking, I was mapping. When you are doing the puja, I was in the laptop preparing the PPR for the next project. So it is really, only yesterday Mansi made me realize that what is my strong point. So all these projects for the watershed, which we got for the, I could proudly say that more than 700 crore were sanctioned for Manipur. So I was always the focal person who designed the project, because even though it's watershed management, it's a land-based project where we had to do massive work on GIS and remote sensing, mapping and all those calculation and all those like where are the degraded land, those kind of technical things. So it was one point. And at the same time, even though Mansi might be a little bit against my, but you also need to be presentable, make yourself look a little presentable, not just that I have the technology and I can go anywhere. Not that, because I see that even though I was I got the position as a CEO, the gate won't open to the secretariat until and unless you put on a black glass. Then the gate open. I forgot my ID, they won't let me open the they won't let me inside the secretariat. Then all of a sudden, I just put on my black glass, and then get open, and so I could say that we are women whom God made us to be a little beautiful, and they can presentable. That also is a plus point. It's not that don't flaunt it or anything, but like be strong, have your technical, because even though your looks counts, once you open your mouth and your technology started pouring out, that really help. And another thing, like I said before, knowing your whole state, the know how the nitty gritty of all the where does all, even all the small streams, where does it come from, your place well. So for me, that was one point which really helped me for the last 23 years, mapping for any government sector or any consultancy work, for even for the intelligence people. Without any document, I have helped them for the intelligence, for the army. So those kind of thing, that was my GIS, which really helped me. And again, I could also say that you had to compromise so many things. If you are climbing the ladder, you have to compromise on your own. Like right now, I am here talking to all you wonderful women, but once I go back again, there must be clutter in the kitchen or in the bedroom. So it's part of our life, and I take it as a part of me, the balancing thing. And it's not that the males don't help, but still I took it as a part of me, where I had to do that also. So that sort of helped me relax also, doing a small household work. So it's more very relaxing. And again, it's all part. And when I talk about leadership, because that make me realize when I go and work for the community, that uh, how a woman who also work in the kitchen, or who also work in the technology part or in the education sector, so it's all balanced, and I could feel it, when I'm also part of the kitchen and part of the farming thing and part of the technology. So those are how I build myself, or how I climb. So
Thank
uh,
you. Thanks a lot, Sunita. And I was just wondering, linking it with what Chandni was saying, that the women at the community level, though they know their work, they are actually specialized. And you also put it also for professional women in a very humble way, that you really need to know the knowledge, but at the same time, we have to carry the responsibility of the house, of the office, and that is where the art lies, in finding the balance and other things. And it has not been easy, yes, for many women to rise the ladder. And also we have to strategize uh, to find out how we go there or reach there. And even after reaching, as you were also mentioning, are we really heard? Chandni also reinstated that fact that like in WICCI Water Resource Council, we are so many women out there, and we still see many events happening in Delhi, in other parts of the country, where we don't find ourselves. And I'm sure you all have noticed that I try to make a little bit of noise there. And that is where we have to see ourselves as a mass. I mean, as WICCI Water Resource Council as a mass, and that needs to be presented. And this is something which is close to my heart, as soon as possible, to get those 100 plus sessions of the Monday Munching and Musing with Women for Water out there as a little book. And if we can circulate it to as many organizations as possible, with a love letter, that next time if you have manuals, you may like to think about WICCI Water Resource Council. That can be a small, heart and a love letter, or a small drop, something like that. But that brings me to the question of this mass, and invite Radhika to take the question on the role of networks, platforms, associations. They may be having different names. At Wiki, we are calling it Water Resource Council, but then we have groups, kind of a collective community. I'm just giving different names to it. But what do you think, Radhika? I mean, how these kind of collectives or networks, councils can be made useful to mentor partnerships? Because we know at the end of the day, water cannot be managed as a solo professional or something. It is something where we come together for collaboration to co-create new knowledge, to cure some things which are out there in the field or in the society, where it is complex, where one specialization cannot work. What's your take? You have been also there with Water Resource Council for quite some time, and I'm sure you are also part of some other councils or association. How do you see Water Resource Council? And because you're also now new vice president for us, so congratulations, and over to you.
Yeah, so I don't know if you're aware of the song "No Man Can Live Like an Island." In this case, no
Yes.
woman. But honestly, none of this can be possible by a single person or a single organization and whatever, right? As Chandni has mentioned, the amount of work or the kind of problems, they're so diverse, and they're so plentiful, honestly, that there has to be a collaboration, and there has to be platforms to engage, to discuss, to scale, right? And that, I think, Wiki is a great platform there, where, as again Chandni has mentioned, that there are just so many women working on so many incredible solutions on the ground, and everybody is working in their niche. And I have a TED talk on this as well, so which talks about really how do you scale an ecosystem, how do you scale a solution. And when you look at it, I mean, it is great to go deep and to actually work on a niche solution by yourself in that particular region and everything. But when you're doing such great work, how do you scale? I mean, there'll be similar issues other parts of the country, in other regions. How do you scale that work? And platforms like the WRCs are great because here you are talking the same language to different people. I mean, everybody understands your language, and I'm sure when you are discussing with each other, you will find that other parts of the country, other parts of the other regions have very similar problems, and have and solutions can be also very similar, right? And this kind of collaboration is where is much needed in order to bring scale to these solutions. And I think I would strongly, I think that is one of the things that really strongly encourage everybody to really make use of platforms like this to actually talk to people, to discuss. I myself have met so many interesting people in the time that I've been in WRC. I mean, people doing great work in Ladakh, on water treatment, and, elsewhere in the country, rainwater harvesting and things like that. And I think these are really great solutions that are operating in very niche areas, and this deserves to be sort of talked about. This deserves to be scaled, and I think that is where, I mean, we really need to leverage some platforms like this to achieve scale. Um, uh, I mean, just as an example, I mean, there are many other, of course, many other platforms. There is CII, there is a whole bunch of platforms to do this. But especially when we're talking about Wiki, all of us are talking water. As when Mansee has always said, we should flow like water. And I think these ideas and solutions should flow, and we should take advantage of these partnerships. And this is also an opportunity to mentor. There are people who've been in this field for so long. I think Mansi herself has done such a fantastic job mentoring students, getting them into the fray, getting them interested in water, and we really need more people. We really need more uh, uh, people, women, everybody who's interested to solve for water. And I think with the wealth of knowledge that we have within Wiki, I think it almost becomes a sort of a responsibility on our part to actually mentor and create more leaders. So I will stop there.
Yes, thank you. I forgot to actually open the floor in the last question. So, but let me just open the floor to all the speakers for the last two questions, actually, both on the ladder of leadership and also the role of these networks. So then we can go to the last question, and then we have much better understanding. So anybody wants to chip in for the last two questions we talked about on the ladder to leadership, or the use of network or role of network? Yeah, go ahead,
I would like
Radhika.
to
You have
just
something.
add, I'd just like to add to what Dr. Sunita had said, that in terms of knowledge, yeah, knowledge is key. I think,
Yes.
you are, and it's always good to go back to first principles. And, if you have the capability of ability to just, break down a problem, and, I think that goes a long way. And I feel like women are naturally equipped with this because, I mean, they face so many issues, whether it's, in parenting and, everything, managing a household. You naturally have an ability to sort of break down problems and solve it with first principles. And I think that actually is a great quality to have to sort of grow in the professional work as well.
Yes, and also in leadership for that matter, not only multitasking, but diversity of thinking and to be open to listen. Chandni, you want to add something in the last two questions. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, Mansi, I completely agree with Radhika and Sunita ji, but just wanted to add, they do have knowledge, they are resilient, but I do sometimes feel that sometimes, specifically in the technology sector, when they have to balance their work and homes, which Sunita ji also rightly pointed out that, it is challenging, it's not easy. And Radhika talked about mentors. I think we also need to create those mentors and create those safe spaces where
Absolutely.
women can talk about these kind of challenges. So it's more like sisterhood, which is actually the motto of our wiki
Yes.
and the philosophy of wiki. So take them along, tell them that yes, there are going to be challenges, but here we are. And this is how we can overcome those challenges. Let's not just get disheartened, because we have stories like Sunita ji, we have stories, all of you are success stories. So I think we also need to create those kind of safe spaces where women can talk heart to heart about their challenges.
Yeah, wonderful. And also, I think we have to continuously remind ourselves that if not us, then who? I always keep thinking about it. If not us, then who? you know. And I am with the 4 years of experience of leading the WICCI Water Resource Council. I also learned something very, very, instinct and inherent about the women leadership, which I saw from all of you, because all of you are also interviewed at individual level in this Monday Munching and Music with Women for Water. That, of course, basic knowledge of the subject is important, but you also have to work along others' knowledge sets, and we have to somehow find how can we decode how others are having expertise and where can they chip in. So because of our inherent multitasking ability at home or with the family, we somehow bring that ability or skill set also to the workspace. That okay, you have this experience of GIS and you have experience of social science or you have experience of engineering. Let's see, and there is one problem, but we need all of us together. And that is, I think, the beauty of I feel in water management, where it requires all kinds of expertise. So now coming to the point why WICCI Water Resource Council really stands out differently and should be in the future take a very strong course in making leadership, because I think in 4 years I have been also experiencing that more and more we talk about women for water, we really need to strengthen the very fact that changing the narrative is extremely important, because women for water is completely different discussion than water for women. And at the WICCI Water Resource Council, we are all privileged, very rightly put by Chandni. We have the knowledge, and very rightly put by Sunita. We have the network, as also put by Radhika. Now we really have a responsibility, and how to take this further and make the presence and participation felt, not only for solving the problem, but there are things beyond. I mean, I always love to talk philosophy as well, but the fact that when you and I started our career, I started my career only looking up to Vandana Shiva, Medha Patkar, and Sunita Narayan, and full stop, to be honest. And I'm talking about 30 years ago. The very idea of WICCI Water Resource Council was that tomorrow, when a younger generation starts their water career, they don't have to stick to 4 people, at least not 400, but at least as a start, in 4 years, I could offer 100 names. I mean, I can put it that way. And now it's up to all of you. Now you're 4 people as leaders. So you can make it actually 400, so that there is not only acceptance amongst women to accept women leadership, but also amongst men to accept women leadership. This is both ways, because women also have problem taking women as a leadership. And men definitely have problems taking women as leadership. So the very idea that we exist, we have knowledge, we have leadership abilities, needs to be hammered in a way to the society, both to younger generation and peer group as well. The fact still that 90% men still go around and they are happily doing water decisions, we really have to work hard. So the foundation is laid for all four of you, but now you have to take it further, not only by quantity, but also by the quality of inclusion in the decision making. I also have the honor of now inviting Ms. Anubhuti Shekhar, who is also my ex-student from Terry School of Advanced Studies, a water governance student, and the backbone of the whole WICCI Water Resource Council. I don't think I would have managed to flow this far without this little angel's support. So I invite her to take the last question for the session, and also we will open the floor for everyone. I also have some more young friends here. They can also chip in later. Anubhuti, over to you, and thank you so much. This is a good time that I thank you for your 4 years of support and trust. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Mansee. Thank you for all the years of trust and for building WICCI Water Resource Council almost from scratch. Lovely questions, lovely to hear. I've been a youth council member for last 3 to 4 years, and I've learned so much through WICCI Water Resource Council and also the Monday Munching series that we all did. And I just wanted to thank Dr. Mansee and all of you. I am looking forward to see how new ideas are going to pitch in about leadership. How are we going to take up leadership forward with the council? And I'm happy to be here for all four of you to help as much as I can. I have one last question from Sweta, ma'am. We often talk about individual leadership, and we sometimes lose the factor of how communities and networks are helping us being leaders. So, what do you have? Do you have any inputs on this, like individual leadership, followed by how these communities and these networks are help in building these leadership roles? So, yeah.
So, Anubhuti, you're raising a very good question. Firstly, let me thank you as well, because I've seen how you've operated in the last 4 years, and it's been amazing. And we hope that you'll continue supporting the organization as you've been so far, right? We'll figure out how the next steps will go on, but you've done a fantastic job so far. Now, talking about women networks, how they can influence leadership. I think each one of you said, right, women need their skills. You need education. You even get a title. You will even get a role. Like we talk about panchayat, the sarpanch should be a woman. So women get all of those things. But sometimes even with everything, they cannot just fight for a cause because they don't have enough support from everybody else in the community. Having a network like this gives them the confidence and also then to be able to run their ideas. Say, I'm going to go to an event and I'm not sure what I should do. I have this whole network where I can go back to get information and present myself in a better way. Also, in terms of skills, I might have skill A, like Rajkumari ji is great with GIS, right? Somebody else might be good with community engagement. Like somebody is good with water, somebody is good with eco restoration. When we have this network, we can pull into that network and go as a team and make a change. Sometimes to make a change, you need all parts to work together. And having a network like this, the WICCI WRC has members from all over the country. Pretty much all the states are covered. All kinds of skills are covered. We have people from corporate. We have people from government. We have people from housewives also, right? So we have from NGOs, from all kinds of institutions. So, and academia as well, especially considering Mansee, right? So the fact is we have people from everywhere. We are able to pull all that resources together and go present to a government. Like one of the things what I want to do is make policy changes for solid waste management. It's just an example. If I do it just by myself, it's much harder. But if I get a group of WICCI women in all different states and we all go together, we put together a referendum, we put together some kind of document saying what it should be like, the government will listen. There are people who want to listen. And we have this mindset that maybe the government doesn't want to do anything. But if we go with a good solution, women have a lot of power to get things done. We are persistent by nature. We believe in consistency. We believe in follow-up. We are not going to just give up. That is some of the women qualities which I believe are there. Also, the level of empathy we have. That makes a difference in the way solutions are brought together. So, and the solutions that we bring together are more holistic, more long-term minded. So in that sense, having a network like this can make a huge difference. An example I'll give, which we all talk about, is Jal Saheli. My eye-opening event was when I spoke to some of the Jal Sahelis. They said it's not about the water. When we meet, it's a network we have built. This is a chance to get out of the house. This is a chance to fix our other issues in life. I can get more education for my son because I have this Jal Saheli network. I can get other things. I can get livelihood options because I have this Jal Saheli network. I can go out and do something in the other house because my kids will be looked after by my network. So these networks are extremely important, especially for women who have responsibilities spanning 24 hours a day and no reprieve from any responsibility. And the expectation is if you want to compete with men, you do that and do this. It's never like, okay, so if you're going to do this, the men will take over some other duties. That doesn't happen. We'll support you in doing what you want to do, but you still have to do what you have to do. And that's where the women networks become very important. And I believe, like my mind personally, I have great 3-4 big women networks which I'm part of as friends or as work. Like there's Nadi, which is another very, very important, very nice
Yes.
network. And then we have WICCI WRC. And these are the, how do you say, foundation stones for everything I do. Any challenge I have, I go back to the network, I get the information. So to me, these are real life examples where things have worked. So to me, that's why I think it's very important to be part of these networks, right? When women have a network, it's holistic, it's informed, like Chandni said, right? They're empathetic, there's teamwork going on, and also there's fun. I must say that I don't know a women's meeting which is not full of laughs and giggles. So there's always fun.
Very well put. Yeah.
So I think I hope that answers some of the question you had, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Anybody else
thank you
want to
so much.
Stand here. Yeah.
Anybody else wants to add? Please feel free.
Yes.
Chandni,
Anyone wants
Sunita,
to add
Radhika.
here? And then we come towards the closure also. Very well put that it is not only about water, but it is also
Exactly.
about building a community. And I must share with all of you here, when we got the WICCI Water Resource Council presidency, when I started working on it, of course, before me, it was also there for 2 years with Dr. Bhakti Devi. We could not build that collective in this way, the way we have now set up. When I started looking for people out of the 100, actually I only knew 4 or 5 people. I will be very honest on that. Now it's not only that I know the length and breadth and depth of all the council members, but most of them have turned out to be very good friends. It's, of course, we don't have to have best friends in everyone, but knowing itself is a huge social capital that I now enjoy and I exploit also, to be honest. Informing people, look, there is this something, you must do this. There is something which you must collaborate. I have been doing this for almost every day in last 4 years, to be honest. So yes, it is beyond water. It is something more. Yes, Sweta.
So just to share, Bhakti Devi is a senior from my college, BJTI.
Yes.
And right now I'm working with 2 other women, Dr. Prasanna Nambiar and Saryu Kamath. They are both also happen to be my BJTI seniors. So again, it's one other network, right, from my college.
Of
So
course.
these
Yes,
networks
of
matter a
course.
lot, right?
Yes, and they come very handy for all kinds of collaborations and co-creation of knowledge or solving problems. If there are any other points or questions you want to raise, and this is also your last time to ask me some question. If you have any question for me, I think I should also offer that option. Or anyone wants to add
The
something.
question is, the question is same, Mansee. So when is our thing happening?
What do you want to have happen? What do you
Yeah,
want it to happen?
the one we decide before.
Yes. So
So
we will actually start thinking and start working on it, because all the kind of events and any kind of activities requires a lot of brainstorming at the background. So I'm actually also very keen to invite all of you to Germany. Sorry, my voice.
Exactly. Yeah. we meet there first, the first
Yes,
event.
for the Women Network here, and it's an open invitation, but of course, I have to write some proposal to invite all of you. And as most of you know, that how organized I am to do anything, so I need to do the background work and some brainstorming. Yes, Shweta. No, you are on mute. Bache, you are on mute. Please unmute.
My
Yeah.
question to you is, how are you feeling?
Oh, I feel good, to be honest. And honestly, from this session perspective or WICCI Water Resource Council, I feel so stronger having lived in the water sector for nearly 20 years and being lonely. I can bring all the points of experience which I have had. Being a very tiny person and looking very young in age was the biggest, I will say, setback to my professional career. But now having this mass, this number of people as a community, I'm not actually, I'm almost in a nirvana stage of my life, to be honest, both for research and for education and community work. Uh, but I feel very stronger in the way that something which I wanted to do 30 years ago, and I was so helpless, vulnerable as a professional to do something not unheard. I feel that we have a voice, we are heard, and looking all of you doing so well in your career, it makes me feel very proud. I will be very honest. Not as a big sister, but of course as someone who is seeing all of you grow and grow the ladder and reach places. I mean, I am doing things on my own way, my own research and all, but for me, these are all secondary, to be honest. For me, water conversation, talking about water is the most important thing in life. And it can be from anywhere. I am right now sitting just next to the ocean, to the sea, sorry, Warden Sea. And
Yes.
just talking about water makes me feel good. I can keep talking about water, to be honest, for a whole day. So
And
I'm happy.
I've seen that spark in your eyes when you talk about water.
Yeah,
I've seen
yes.
that happen.
You give me the word water in the middle of the night, and my eyes will be very starry. Anubhuti, you have your hand raised. Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you.
I just wanted to mention that before this Wiki Council started, I was almost in my master's. I was just doing my master's, and during our course also, we are never taught that there is inequality in women leadership as well. Whenever we read the word inequality, we often talk about rural women, the problems they are facing. And when we talked about the women leadership, when I talked to Dr. Mansee about Monday Munching, how she's building WICCI Water Resource Council, it was a whole new perspective as a youth also, because you guys have been seeing all these for all these years. But as a youth, I have not faced those leadership inequality issues yet. So it was a very new thing for me to learn from all of you. So I just wanted to mention that how it was such a new thing, new concept, but lot of learning.
Actually, it is yet not picked up, and I keep hammering to everyone, and also to be very clear, and because all the four leaders are here for next 2 years, that please understand that WICCI Water Resource Council is not water for women. It is women for water. Your task is to focus on women leadership and leave those women to do their work on the sector of vulnerable women. We there is very clear, because as a scientist I'm very focused and I would like that clarity, and that's why I'm sharing this with you, but that I really didn't focus on what exactly you are doing and how you're empowering women in last 4 years. My focus was how your career is building, and I was just observing that. And if there is something it can be done or helped or collaboration opportunities created. So because we really need to change that narrative in the society. So from Abala Nari syndrome, which is the water for women syndrome, which we all are also actually affected by. The moment we talk about women, we completely our mind goes to those tankers, to those bore wells, to those wells. Yes, they are extremely important, but this space is meant for grooming leadership for women so that they can go and solve those problems. So I really didn't go to the field, solve the
Right.
problems of the women. So I can also apologize to all the women across the country who face water problem. But everyone has a limited time and they have to focus on something. And we focused on this because I remember, Shweta, with you also, we had many times talking about why don't we have this? Why don't we do that? But I think some focused works are also required. And then there are 100 people and they are also working on the ground. I didn't work on the ground, to be honest. But yes, bringing it to the classroom, that these two completely different angles, because they are completely different way of working. They are completely different set of stakeholders. And in WICCI Water Resource Council, all the council members are stakeholders. And they have to be focused, their career building, anything required for their career building, for the increase of the networks. Then the second step is, of course, what they are doing, because that is what is we have amplified. 103 sessions, 128 speakers in Monday Munching and Using with Women for Water. We exactly asked what they are doing, how they are going through, So that is a very simple and small step to amplify all of your thoughts, your ideas, your activities. That is what it was there. So I hope you had a good conversation today. If there's anything burning issue, anything you want to add to the last comment, please go ahead and then we close. Sunita, I see you on mute. Go ahead.
I just want to thank you again. Seeing you, hearing you is wonderful. So encouraging. Like all of a sudden, all the energy comes in, and that's make me, like I never could imagine that I could take this role, but I just said yes to you, and I did
Now
it.
you
Like,
can do it.
yeah,
Now you can
exactly.
do
Thank you.
And
So now you
We'll
are
do it
there. Now
together.
no more looking back, looking forward.
Sweta, yeah, she really is a Jhunjhunwala. So I'm so happy. And Chandni,
What
like
does that mean?
our new
Thank
leader.
you.
So
Any last word, Chandni, Radhika? Then we can give it a close. Yeah.
Thank you.
I would just like to say that we have a huge responsibility, and that's from, how I began, that you have actually set a huge benchmark for all of us in leadership, WICCI Water Resources Council, and we will ensure, like you always say, that we need to flow like water. So we will ensure that together we flow like water, and water flows for all forever and ever.
Yes,
Excellent.
absolutely.
Yes, that's what we
Yeah.
need. Yes.
yeah. So we are
Radhika?
representing the whole of India by 4 of us. So
Absolutely.
nicely.
Yes, yes.
So nice.
And right now we have members from 20 states, so we are still lagging behind. So we need to fill that up. So we will do that, and you have all my support wherever
And
required.
and
You know
for
that.
the new state president, I will propose a tribal woman from the Naga community.
Very good.
So
So now it's opening up.
Always
Yeah.
talking. Yes.
so she
Very
will
nice.
represent the hills. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Radhika, do you have anything to add here?
No, I think Chandni has summed it up really nicely. I don't think I could do better. So,
Okay. Yeah.
no, but it is, I'm really looking forward to the next 2, 3 years, whatever it is. And we hope to do a lot.
Thanks. Thank you so much, Chandni, Radhika, Sweta, and Sunita for this wonderful conversation. And thanks, Anubhuti, for chipping in and asking the last question, which is very important as well. And at W4W, we have just started our season 8, and we are going to go very slow because we are also in the process of documenting our last 7 seasons, and it's a huge institutional memory and responsibility that we carry. Having said that, we are full with complete sessions in June, and now we are filling up July. In next week, we have Friday Water Talkies on June 12th at 5 p.m. IST, and we have actually the film premiere, or we can say screening, on Salt in Her Veins. And it is actually going to be with the maker of the film, Captain Sachin Khanna, who is also a merchant navy officer and now based out of California. So I'm looking forward to the next week and the week after and week after. Please stay tuned and take care and keep flowing. Bye-bye.
Thank
Bye bye.
you.
Thank you. Bye.